Welcome back to Minute Mythology's Week of the Dragon. In Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, the blue dragons are often described as the second most powerful of all chromatic dragons, and were known for using magical illusions and hallucinations to outwit and torture their prey. They were known to make their lairs in arid, barren lands such as deserts, where they could use conjured thunderstorms to cause mayhem. They were also known to create their dens in mountains or burrows beneath such areas where they could, if sufficiently threatened, collapse their lair upon intruders, and then burrow in to retrieve their hoard later on. Despite all of this, they're far more likely to mock or manipulate mortals than outright destroy them like some of their brethren. The adult and ancient blue dragons have a flight speed of 80 and a ground or burrowing speed of 40. They have clearly amazing stats regardless of their adult or ancient prefix, sporting a slightly higher wisdom and intellect than some of the other dragons. They have 3 legendary resistances per day and can use a multi-attack consisting of their frightful presence plus 1 bite attack and 2 claws. Alternatively, they can also strike with their tail as a full action, but as discussed in the previous video, this is not really a good choice. Like the other ancient dragons, the blue dragon also has 3 legendary actions it can use at the end of another creature's turn. They can detect, make a free tail attack, or for 2 out of 3 of the actions they can make a wing attack that can knock players prone. As with the other dragons, their main choice of attack should be their breath attack. Similar to the black dragon, it's a line that prompts a dex save that, if failed, results in 16 d10 lightning damage, a potential of 16 to 160. A blue dragon's lair has some special effects. The dragon can force a section of the lair to collapse, forcing a dex save to avoid damage or being knocked prone. If players fail, they are partially buried beneath debris, and are considered restrained and unable to breathe. The dragon can also cause a 20-foot radius sphere of sand to swirl around the lair, blinding people within, and can also create lightning arcs between 2 points in their lair. Any creatures caught in these cross-sections of lightning must succeed on a dex save or else take massive amounts of lightning damage. The area around their lair is covered in rolling thunderstorms, and patrolled by dust devils that attack intruders within 6 miles. Sinkholes also form all around the lair, and if they're missed by a high perception check, they can lead to your players falling 10 to 60 feet down, which of course will cause falling damage. As a DM, I would always have a dragon fighting in its lair if possible, as outside of the lair, the fight is not going to be as exciting. For blue dragons in particular, I would have them fighting inside an enclosed area with a high ceiling, like a cavern or a deep burrow in a remote desert, to take advantage of their lair actions, and to maximize the potential of their lightning arcs and breath attacks. For the lair actions, I would likely alternate between roof collapses and lightning arcs to maximize damage, saving the sand sphere only to blind ranged players or to allow the dragon to escape. I would start combat by having the dragon beneath the earth watching the party, then have it burst out and strike at the largest number of them it can with its breath attack. From there, the dragon should fly high up in their lair to minimize melee attacks, as well as to maximize the damage it can do with its breath attack and lightning arc lair action. I would use the roof collapse first to try and bury as many people as possible, as restrained players would likely fail the dex saves associated with a breath attack or lightning arc thereafter. From here, I would then use the dragon's turn to attack with their breath attack whenever possible. On turns when it hasn't recharged, I would have the dragon slam into the ground and burrow, avoiding players' attacks, emerging from the ground to do a multi-attack and then disappearing back beneath the ground again. I would keep this tactic going until the breath attack recharges, at which point the dragon would emerge and strike with a lightning breath attack, taking to the air once more. For the legendary actions, more than likely I would use 2 of them to do a wing attack to knock people prone, saving the 3rd for a tail attack if the melee players happen to get a little too close. As an added challenge, I would employ the burrow strikes combined with lightning arcs or roof collapses to systematically deal damage to players while avoiding most strikes. By using the roof collapse followed up by a multi-attack, the dragon will have advantage on all strikes, and any attacks of opportunity on them as they burrow away will likely be at disadvantage. If the dragon feels like it's getting pretty close to being defeated, I would have it release the sand as a lair action and then try to escape, to return for revenge or its treasure on another day. As with all dragons, the modern depiction has its roots in European lore and mythology, but the blue dragons are clearly being inspired by the azure dragons in Chinese mythology. The azure dragon, or Qinlong, is a dragon god that represents the east and the season of spring. He is one of the 5 aspects of the Wufang Shangdi, or the 5 regions' highest deities, and was an aspect of life and nature. One of his fellow azure-scaled dragons named Shenlong was given the mantle of Master of Storms, and was known as the Bringer of Rain. In most Chinese folklore, the dragons are like ambivalent forces of nature that bring neither good nor ill to people. They simply embody aspects of the world. D&D seems to have taken the aspect of magic and storms from Shenlong and Qinlong, and added in the malicious intent of their other chromatic dragons to create the blue dragons, masters of storms and lightning, who are anything but benevolent. If you enjoyed that video, please leave a like and comment below, and consider subscribing to the channel. You can also join the Patreon for $1 a month to access videos days before they're posted here, as well as other exclusive stuff like short stories, videos, and more.